We'd had a very simple prayer that God would be glorified, that the doctors and nurses would know what to do, and for healing. That was our prayer. And we got a call in the middle of the night that he was crashing, and he had been living on a thread literally for 33 days. He was the sickest kid there, and but he rebounded again. And so this continued to confound our doctor, Dr. Musa, because she was just trying to figure out why was Payton continuing to live for so long. I mean, typically with a diagnosis of sepsis and multiple organ failure, he might live a few days or a week. But here it was, day 33. She ultimately became convinced that he lives for so long so that he could impact the lives of so many people through the gospel that was being shared at Riley Children's Hospital in Indianapolis and through the emergence of the World Wide Web all across the world, literally. We had earlier decided, and Dr. Moose had asked us to either choose what God could do or what man medicine machines could do, and we chose God. But it was clear at this point in time that one of the doctors who was on call said, "Todd, there's nothing more we can do for him. He's on every bit of support we can give him, 100% oxygen support, and there's nothing more we can do." And so he said, "You're going to have to make a decision." And my friend Keith Agoric said, "The sheep will hear my voice," quoting scripture. And Ndidi Musa then said, "God will declare himself." And I said to Dr. Safarian in a moment of boldness, I suppose, I said, "I don't care if it's 2 days, 2 weeks, 2 minutes, or 2 hours. God can declare. I don't think that's fair for any man or any father to have to make that sort of a decision about their son." And so I said that, and then in the next room where Payton was, we heard a series of rapid beeps. And Robin, my wife, said, "Well, maybe God's talking right now." And Dr. Safarian walked over to the next room and noticed that his oxygen levels, which had been at the upper 80s, which barely will keep you alive, immediately plummeted in the 40s, and he passed away. The connection point to Fort Wilderness is later that night, Keith called Fort to say, "Hey, one of your campers, the Lydens, who we'd got to know, the Robertsons and others at camp, Payton had passed away." And so Jean, Tom's wife, said, "We've always thought about a medical facility. We've always needed one at camp. Maybe the Lydens would be interested in doing that." So in the Lord's providence, the board was meeting the next morning. Literally, their quarterly meeting was that next morning. The board approved plans for Payton's Place, a medical facility to be here at Fort. Fort was also in the midst of a capital campaign, and so they had renderings of facilities. And so literally at the funeral service later that week on Wednesday, we had approval by the board and we had renderings of what Payton's Place would look like. And $80,000 was raised in literally a few weeks. And Payton's Place was built later that year and it was dedicated the following summer. And there was a great story of what happened in that dedication. So.